Yo, what up, my Shadow Armies? It is I, Shadow Critius, back again with another RWBY video. So, yesterday, I want to do a little bit different for you guys, and so far, no one actually been doing any character history for each of the character from different franchise, so I decided to do some of these kind of content for you guys, and I want to do this one first, which is the history of Pyrrha Nikos. And before I get to you on, for those people who already know about Pyrrha Nikos, you pretty much know. But those few people who may not know, this may contain spoilers for Pyrrha Nikos. If you guys are watching RWBY right now, this probably will contain spoilers for you guys on wherever volume you guys are on right now. So this will contain spoilers. And if you guys are a fan of Pyrrha Nikos, this video is actually for you guys. And letting you guys know, I will be using the voice reader app to, read all the history that involves Pyrrha, from her history, her abilities, her weapon, her semblant, etc. So you pretty much know what this is about. So pretty much it's going to be everything about Pyrrha Nikos. And again, this will contain spoilers. And if you hear some words actually pronounced wrong, like Team RWBY, Team Jennifer, and Team Cardinal, just roll with it, because somehow, some way, the voice reader app will messed up on not pronouncing the actual word now. So just roll with it, or just ignore it in general. So yeah, and yeah. If you guys want to see more of any types of RWBY character history or any types or fictional character history for them, let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested of history of the characters from different franchise. Let me know. So yeah, without a wait, let's just go ahead and get into the history of Pyrrha Nikos.
Pyrrha Nikos was a character in RWBY. She was a student at the now defunct Beacon Academy and formerly a member of Team JNPR until her passing. Her weapon of choice, called Milo, was a red and bronze spear-like weapon that could transform into a rifle or a short sword. She used this alongside a shield called a koa, which resembled a classic hoplon. In End of the Beginning, Pyrrha engaged in battle with Cinder Fall, who had gained full possession of the Fall Maiden's powers. Despite her valiant efforts, Pyrrha was defeated and killed by Cinder, who then incinerated her body. Motivated by her death, the remaining members of Team JNPR joined Ruby Rose in her journey to Haven in order to track down Cinder and her faction. A memorial statue of Pyrrha is erected in Argus, where she trained before attending Beacon. Pyrrha wore her red hair in a waist-length ponytail, curled slightly into a loose ringlet. She also wore light green eyeshadow around the far upper corners of her green eyes. She was tall and quite muscular compared to most of the other girls at Beacon. Described as the pride of Mistral, Pyrrha was a very professionally capable, friendly, righteous yet relaxed and selfless person. She was a composed and collected individual who, despite being a celebrity, was modest and patient around other people, making her very sociable. Additionally, she tended to be quite formal. In addition to her impressive range of combat abilities, she was a quick thinker, knowing her limits and assessing her opponents before acting. Pyrrha took her studies and relationships equally seriously, making her a bit stubborn and emotionally sensitive. This came from her loyalty toward her friends as well as her good intent. She was willing to keep secrets and help friends in need. She quickly became good friends with her teammates, especially John, and got along with the rest of Team RWBY, often having conversations during lunches and sharing a similar schedule during classes. However, she felt that she struggled to make friends as everyone saw her celebrity status before considering her personal self. Her limited experience with people led her to apologize even when helping them. Pyrrha's righteousness willed her to take risks for the greater good and always concerned herself with the ethics of making decisions, such as volunteering to be the next Fall Maiden. She was willing to become the Fall Maiden despite the risks to her well-being and concerns over the scruples of the transfer process. For most of her life, Pyrrha believed she was destined to be a great huntress, one that would protect the world, and strive for this goal no matter what she could lose. Pyrrha was selfless to a fault, one of the traits that harmed her most. Pyrrha's selfless nature, combined with her beliefs of carrying out her duties as a huntress, made it difficult, if not outright impossible, for her to make decisions for herself out of fear of letting down those who have placed their faith in her. Regardless of the potential dangers of taking such powers through unorthodox means, she was not fazed by it as much as the idea of losing John and her friends, showing she has a caring nature for those close to her. Pyrrha's weapons of choice were Milo and Akoa. They were a javelin, sword, rifle, and shield. Pyrrha was able to throw the javelin form of Milo with extreme precision, being able to hit John's hood over a long distance as he was falling. It was at this point when she first demonstrates proficiency in javelin usage, as she was shown to have a perfect stance, with the javelin lining up exactly with her free hand and using her thumb as a reference point. She was also extremely adept at using a Koho as an offensive weapon, a skill that was exemplified when she used her shield to sever the damaged joint of the Death Stalker's stinger, with the shield ricocheting off of a pillar behind it and returning to her. However, this feat was likely aided by her semblance. However, during her battle with Cinder, she was able to throw her shield with enough accuracy to strike and shatter an arrow midair without her semblance, as her aura had already been depleted. Pyrrha also demonstrated incredible skill in switching her back and forth between weapons with quick succession, delivering rapid attacks, and being able to counter others at once, such as with Team CRDL, whom she all defeated alone, despite being outnumbered. Pyrrha was capable of using her weapon's bladed form to even deflect bullets, as done against Halshot. She showed to even have a high amount of skill in unarmed combat, using several kicks to knock Cardin Winchester and his team back several times, even using her hands in brief moments. Pyrrha was physically strong, as she was seen to punch through grown tree trunks with her shield without any change in her posture or stance. However, in these sorts of instances, she may be using her control over polarity to cause the shield to move with more force. Her strength was also displayed when she used her shield as a launch platform to help Nora launch higher into the air and jumping while doing so, an action that was also done without any visible alterations to her stance when Nora utilized a grenade as propellant off the shield. Shown in the Emerald Forest, Pyrrha demonstrated the ability to unlock another person's aura. She did this for John, whose aura had been unknown to him. She was visibly tired after unlocking it, possibly either due to the sheer amount of aura that she commented John had, or the nature of the ability itself. Pyrrha's semblance, polarity, allowed her to control metal via magnetism. She used this ability on her own weapons and could use it on opponents' weapons, as well, such as when she moved Mercury Black's boot away from her during a spar to prevent him from landing a hit on her. In most combat situations, Pyrrha did not go out of her way to broadcast her semblance's abilities. Instead, she used it only to make very subtle changes of movement for her own weapons and sometimes her opponent's weapon to affect the course of a battle. This gave her the psychological edge of appearing to be invincible in the eyes of most people.
And here's where I get my final thoughts about the character as a whole. So I'm pretty much going to do that for the entire history of the characters from different franchise. So yeah, Pyrrha Nikos is one of the most well-written, beloved character in the entire RWBY franchise, and her death brought a big, huge impact for the audience and the characters, what they're going through, and how we could feel and understand where these characters are going through after that events. And it is heartbreaking. After you watch Volume 4, Chapter 2, where John had a video footage of Pyrrha, that literally put me at the press, because what I was saying after that, because we all could relate to John at that point, because we had the same experience, what we lost is someone that we're really closest to. And the sad thing is that John didn't know that Pyrrha has a feeling for him, but John didn't know and didn't even ask because he was too focused on Wise, and now he felt guilt about that. That all this time there was one person out there that actually loved him, which was Pyrrha, and John didn't know, and he felt guilty about that. When Pyrrha actually showed her feelings to John after she kissed him, he is shocked that the person that John trusted and the person she actually fell in love was John, and John didn't know that. And it's still heartbreaking. And then even more heartbreaking when I tear up when they show the statue of Pyrrha and John met Pyrrha's mother. And that's even more fucking heartbreaking. And And the word where John said Pyrrha didn't get the chance to graduate, but she was a huntress. And that literally does heartbreak me because John does consider Pyrrha as a full-fledged, great, true huntress. And that literally does hurts my heart right there. That just shows that John actually admits his feeling that he does love Pyrrha. And is literally as heartbreaking. Pyrrha is, again, well beloved, well skilled as a fighter. And I'm just going to say this right now before I end it here. I just don't see Pyrrha coming back. As much I want her to come back, but there's no way in hell she could come back. Reason 1, they confirmed that Pyrrha is dead. 2, you saw her body being disintegrated. 3, there's no way in hell that Pyrrha's soul could be part of Cinder because Pyrrha never, ever got the Fall Maiden. Not even close. Because you saw what happened. You saw all the full Fall Maiden power just go straight to Cinder right there and then. So Pyrrha didn't get that little bit of inch of the Fall Maiden power. So she never got the Fall Maiden power. So her soul is not part of Cinder. Only Ember is part of Ember's soul lived on in Cinder, not Pyrrha. So keep that in mind. So Pyrrha never became the new Fall Maiden. Cinder did. She killed Ember, and the Fall Maiden goes straight to Cinder. Not Pyrrha, just go straight to Cinder. So yeah, I'm debunking all that theory. So yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's just a theory, but I have to debunk that bullshit. So there's no way in hell that Pyrrha could come back. If they do bring her back, then what's the point of her killing off? Like, what's the point of killing her off in the first place? And her death would just be pointless, just like they did to Penny. But now they made Penny back as a human form. There's no way they could bring her back after that. I mean, she became a full-fledged human. So there's no way you can bring her back. So yeah, Pyrrha's death is a big, huge impact for the characters for, well, Ruby and John. Because Ruby just witnessed a death twice right in front of her. And John just, having experiences of loss because his partner, one of his teammates, actually showed her feelings to him that she has feelings and love with John, and he was blinded over for Weiss, and now he is guilt that all this time the right woman was right in front of him the entire time, and he straight up ignored it and straight up blind because of Weiss. So yeah, it's literally freaking heartbreaking, and I do love how John tried to be the best huntsman just like Pyrrha to honor her legacy, like how he had the symbol based off her crown that he has in the bottom of his shield, and also kept the part of Pyrrha, like one of her, I forget what you call it, like a scarf thing or whatever, be part of John's suits. And I just like that touch. To touch it so he can remember for Pyrrha. So yeah, it is freaking heartbreaking to say the least. But anyway guys, that's just my final thoughts about Pyrrha Nikos as a whole as a character. So yeah guys, let me know in the comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys want more of this kind of history stuff, let me know in the comments down below. Give me your honest and your final thoughts about Pyrrha Nikos as a whole. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my social media, my Discord server, my GoFundMe page will all be down below in the description box. You guys know what drill about that. Again, for the third time, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Kneel before Shuttle Critius, and I'll see you guys later.